15 surprising things that were invented by mistake. Ever wonder how some of the world's most incredible inventions came into being? Was it a research discovery or nothing more than just a mistake? What? A mistake? That's crazy. But hey, it's true. Well, hold on to your hats because we're about to uncover 15 things that were invented by mistake. This adventure is filled with accidental discoveries that change the course of history. Honestly, by the end, you'll be glad for such crazy mishaps. Who knows what we'll find here? Maybe one of your favorites was nothing more than just a simple mistake. Well, stick to the end to find out. This list is about to blow your mind. Oh wait, before we begin, do you see that little subscribe button? Hit that for more exciting videos. Thanks, folks. I'll just get out of your way. Invention number 1. Post-it notes. Let's kick things off with an absolute classic. Post-it notes. What if I say that it was nothing more than an honest mistake by a scientist at 3M named Dr. Spencer Silver back in 1968? Yep, the poor guy was just trying to create a super strong adhesive. But what did he end up with? A weak yet incredibly repositionable adhesive. But instead of being bummed, he shares it with his buddy Art Fry, who had a light bulb moment. Why not make sticky notes? And so Dr. Silver and Art put their heads together, tweaked the formula a bit, and voila! Post-it notes were born. Who knew a little bit of stickiness could be so revolutionary? Invention number 2. Chocolate chip cookies. Alright, let's talk about one of life's greatest treasures, chocolate chip cookies. Picture this, it's 1930 and Ruth Wakefield, the owner of the Toll House Inn, is whipping up her famous butter cookies. But uh-oh, she's out of baker's chocolate. What's a cookie lover to do? Well, Ruth's no quitter. Instead of throwing in the towel, she grabs a chocolate bar and chops it up, thinking it'll melt and make chocolate cookies. But guess what? Those chocolate chunks decided to be rebels and stay intact, creating the gooey, chocolatey goodness that we know and love today. Just like that, the world was gifted with chocolate chip cookies, all thanks to Ruth's kitchen mishap. Talk about a sweet surprise, am I right? Invention number 3. The microwave. Ask yourself, where would we be without a microwave? Probably heating food on stoves. Sorry folks, we don't want to go back to the Stone Age. Luckily, or shall I say accidentally, microwaves were invented. In 1945, engineer Percy Spencer was working on radar equipment for Raytheon when he noticed something peculiar. A candy bar in his pocket had melted due to the electromagnetic waves from the radar. Intrigued by this accidental cooking, Spencer conducted further experiments and eventually patented the first microwave oven in 1947. And just like that, reheating leftovers became a breeze. Just to think, a happy accident that changed our lives for the better. What do you think? Invention number 4. Penicillin. We all know about the great penicillin discovery, but it's too cool not to mention here. After all, we owe it to our great bacteria killer. It happened in 1928 when Scottish scientist Alexander Fleming returned from a vacation to find a petri dish contaminated with mold. Instead of tossing it aside, Fleming observed something extraordinary. The mold had killed off the bacteria that was surrounding it. The mold turned out to be Penicillium notatum, producing a substance that kills bacteria. Fleming isolates it and voila, penicillin is born. Invention number 5. Potato chips. Ah, the snack that's practically a food group unto itself. Potato chips. Legend has it that in 1853, Chef George Crumb of Saratoga Springs, New York, faced a picky customer who kept sending back his fried potatoes, claiming that they were too thick. In a fit of culinary frustration, Crumb sliced the potatoes paper thin and fried them to a crisp. Little did he know that he just invented the world's favorite chip. Luckily, the customer loved the potatoes, and from there, the potato chip was born. And to think, it all started with a disgruntled diner. Invention number 6. Xrays. Let's talk about a discovery without which you and I would be in a big mess. X-rays. Back in 1895, physicist Wilhelm Röntgen was experimenting with cathode ray tubes when he noticed something strange. A screen coated with fluorescent material began to glow, even when covered with a heavy black paper. Intrigued, Röntgen realized that invisible rays were passing through the paper, leading to new stages for the discovery of X-rays. Invention number 7. Velcro. Do you know what makes Velcro so fascinating? It's the way it was discovered. Listen to this, it's no less than a thriller. In 1941, Swiss engineer Georges de Mestral was out hunting. All was going well, but then he noticed these little burrs clinging to his clothes and his dog's fur. They say a great eye doesn't miss anything, and boy, it's true. Intrigued by this natural sticking power, de Mestral examined the burrs under a microscope and discovered tiny hooks that latched on to anything with a loop-like surface. This is how he came up with Velcro, the hook and loop fastener that stuck with us through thick and thin. Invention number 8. Silly Putty. Time to stretch our imagination with a toy that's equal parts fun and funky. Silly Putty. In 1943, engineer James Wright was working on a synthetic rubber compound for the war effort when he stumbled upon something peculiar. The resulting substance was bouncy, stretchy, and utterly unlike anything he'd seen before. His great mind worked its magic until the Silly Putty became the ultimate stress reliever and creativity booster. Invention number 9. CocaCola. Ah, the iconic beverage that's bubbled its way into our hearts. CocaCola. In 1886, pharmacist John Pemberton was attempting to create a headache remedy when he mixed together a concoction of cocoa leaves and cola nuts. However, instead of curing headaches, he accidentally created a refreshing fizzy drink that took the world by storm. And the rest, as they say, is history. Invention number 10. Champagne. Time to pop open a bottle and celebrate with the king of sparkling beverages, champagne. In the 17th century, Benedictine monk Dom Perignon was trying to make still wine when he encountered a rather fizzy situation. Due to an incomplete fermentation process, the wine began to bubble and fizz, creating the effervescent delight that we know as champagne, and thus a drink fit for royalty was born. Just imagine a world without this accident. Invention number 11. Superglue. The surprising accidental discoveries don't end here. Wait up, because there's more coming. If you think these are crazy, well, my friend, you haven't seen anything yet. Next up, we have the iconic superglue discovery. In 1942, scientists Harry Coover and Fred Joyner were attempting to create clear plastic gun sights for World War II when they stumbled upon a sticky situation. The substance they'd created was incredibly strong and stuck to everything it touched. They realized they had stumbled onto something game-changing, an adhesive so strong that it could bond just about anything together. So they got to work refining their accidental invention, and before you know it, superglue was born. Who knew gun sight experiments could lead to such a strong bond? Invention number 12. The Slinky. Do you know the crazily addictive Slinky? Well, its invention story is equally exciting. It all began in 1943 when engineer Richard James was working on a spring to stabilize ship equipment. Accidentally, he knocked one off a shelf. To his amazement, the spring gracefully walked down a stack of books and onto the floor. Inspired by this accidental acrobatics, James worked on the spring and later introduced the Slinky to the world. Thank God for the Slinkies for adding extra joy to the world. Invention number 13. The Pacemaker. What if I tell you that the pacemaker was invented because its maker, Wilson Greenbatch, accidentally tweaked a device? Yep, it's true. Once he did, the device started emitting electrical pulses just like a heart. Freaked out, but curious, Wilson worked and refined it until the pacemaker came to life. Crazy how sometimes accidents can lead to awesome discoveries. Invention number 14. While we're nearing the end, how about we glide into the world of non-stick cooking? A material that's made cleanup a breeze. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Teflon. In 1938, chemist Roy Plunkett was attempting to create a new refrigerant when he stumbled upon a slippery substance that refused to stick to anything. Curiosity doesn't always kill the cat. In this case, it rather saved our lives, literally. So Plunkett further investigated the substance and luckily gave us Teflon, unintentionally paving the way for easier cooking and cleaner kitchens. Invention number 15. Lastly, everyone's favorite, Popsicles. Old Frank Epperson discovered Popsicles after he left a mixture of powdered soda and water outside on a cold night with a stick in it for stirring. When he woke up, he found that the mixture had frozen solid, creating a deliciously refreshing treat on a stick. Hooray! Popsicles were born! I can't imagine living in a world without Popsicles. Alright folks, which one did you find the most surprising? Comment down below to let us know, and tell us what you'd like to see next. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating content. Until next time, stay curious.